Hi, and welcome to the Roxy Hayes podcast. I'm Roxy Hayes, your host, and this is the podcast where I get to dive deep into all the things I'm curious about, whether it's nerd culture, pop culture, relationships, or just the wonderfully weird and interesting world around us. Some episodes will be totally off the cuff, and sometimes we'll have special episodes where I revive my old shows like Bedtime Bitchin', Anti-Meridian, and Tell Me a Story. But no matter what, it's always going to be a fun, unpredictable ride. So sit back and let's get into it. All right. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Roxy Hayes podcast. We talk about everything that keeps us curious, chaotic, and comforted. Today, I'm joined by someone whose fandoms might confuse you until you realize, no, actually, all of this makes sense. He's a wrestler, host of Hey EW, and one of the only people I know who can break down Golden Girls and body slam somebody in the same breath. Please give it up for RJ City. Yay. I don't have no sound.
Don't you understand they're the same thing? This is the problem. I'm already angry. But thank you. My problem is they're the same thing.
Wrestling and Golden Girls?
Yeah. I mean, yes, 100%. I will also say, particularly the Golden Girls and B. Arthur to be specific.
I love B. Arthur.
So wrestling, as you know, is really fucking gay. Right? But gay in an unusual way because it's like a drag show if the drag queens didn't know what they were doing as gay.
Oh, it is like a drag show.
Right? But they're not in on the joke. There's no wink. Okay? Which is kind of the charm of it, in a sense, is that like, oh, these poor people don't realize this is gay. So you know, the same way that the wrestlers play like a hyper masculinity is also kind of what B. Arthur does. And she's like a woman, but also playing drag. And I think about that episode of her and her mother when they do Sonny and Cher. And she plays Cher. And the joke, you would do it as if, you know, a man dressed up as Cher. It's like the same joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. You just, my eyes are open.
Mm-hmm.
And that also makes sense why Golden Girls is so iconic in the queer community, in the LGBTQ plus
Yes.
community.
Yes.
I never
Because
even
they're
thought about
also ostracized and dealing with, being on the fringes, but they're bonded together. And they also like to have, bitch, they were fucking everybody. If you watch episodes, it did get very Sex in the City after a while, where it's like, oh,
It
you
did.
know, Rose has this boyfriend and he's a convict. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I was just watching that episode where that actor came and the actor guy was like smashing everybody in the play. And you know what?
Yes.
Now that you say that, B. Arthur played the sheriff and she was a male character. They gave her a mustache and everything. Oh my God, you're right.
See how easy this is? Once you see it, you will see it for the rest of your life. Are you familiar with the animosity between B. Arthur and Betty White?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Are you
it was
familiar
'cause-
with the eulogy that was given by Rue
No.
McClanahan?
I am not. Tell me more.
Okay. Well, there's a eulogy, and I can send you the link, and I suggest you put it in the comments for your listeners. Where Blanche is telling this, Rue McClanahan is telling the story at B. Arthur's memorial that Rue's husband went to some play and saw B. Arthur and said, "Oh my God, I'm, Rue McClanahan's husband." And B. Arthur responded with, "Rue, I love. Betty is a C word."
Oh, so I would like to, although I am familiar, I feel like this is, I don't feel like all my, I didn't know she said that, but I knew they had beef. I didn't know the beef was that deep. I would love for you to talk more about the Golden Girls beef for the listeners, because a lot of people did not know that they had beef.
Right. So my understanding, and this, now we have to go way back before Golden Girls, was that B. Arthur was on Maude, and she was married to a director, a theater director, and he left her for a younger woman, and she was quite crushed. The last season, Maude is an excellent show. I think it's better than the Golden Girls. The last season is awful. She moves to Washington. She tries to get into politics. They tried to like just turn it into a new
Yeah,
show. It did not work.
I hate when they do that.
Anyway, she really did not feel like she was ready to return to television again emotionally until the Golden Girls. So she came there quite sensitive and raw and all this, whatever. And she also felt like, Maude was a very high point of TV. Ooh, we did one episode about abortion. We're real groundbreaking. And she just really didn't like Betty and thought she was kind of phony and full of shit and like way too nice in a really, really fake way. I had also heard that perhaps she wasn't so nice when Estelle Getty was not remembering her lines.
Oh,
So
Betty wasn't, or B. Arthur wasn't.
Betty wasn't. So there's
Oh.
a lot to uncover there. Needless to say, it's very telling on the Golden Girls retrospective reunion episode that none of them appear on screen together at the same time.
She was like, I'm not doing this.
And of
And that's
course,
what.
be left to go. She was done. She was done with the Golden Girls, and then they tried to do the Golden Palace, which was a giant piece of shit.
I was not a fan. I didn't even realize that was Don Cheadle on there.
Yeah, just Don Cheadle and I think Cheech Marin, and they're just like, let's just see how we could, we just top up the SAG insurance and get out of here. Nothing good is going to come
How
from
long
this.
did it last? I don't even
Not that
remember. Like
long.
a
I think
season?
it's maybe 2 seasons. It was just awful. And then she came back. She did a couple of those episodes, but it was just awful. Yeah, 1 season, 24 episodes. Nothing to
Ugh,
worry about.
we're
Yeah,
not missing nothing. So
nothing at all.
that brings us into technically the first segment. So
Yes.
it's all about comfort media. Golden Girls definitely sounds like it's one of your comfort shows. You have some others, and is it actually your comfort show, or is it a
Well,
show you just like?
so this bothers me, and maybe this speaks to comfort and why things are comforting to me, and why I like to have things that I call my own. Is I almost don't like Golden Girls that much because so many people like it.
We are similar.
Yeah, I don't need
What's
to. Like, sorry, I don't need to walk past fucking Hot Topic and see Golden Girls pajama pants. I don't need it. It makes me sick. Makes me physically ill, and then I want nothing to do with the show after that.
It's so elitist to feel like that too, but it's so funny because I definitely used to love Nightmare Before Christmas, but then everybody started liking Nightmare Before Christmas, and I was
Yes,
like, now I hate it.
yes.
Now I hate it because
But
Jack Skellington's on everything, but I
But
still
it's
like it.
also, it's not even just liking it. It's this like, we have to celebrate it. Like, I don't want to celebrate it. It's a TV show. I just want to watch the fucking TV show. That's it. I can like it a lot. If someone likes something, oh my God, that's great. I don't want a hat of it.
So once it starts getting, is it certain merch that where you're
Once
like,
we get
okay,
into
this is the point?
pants, yeah, once we get into pants, I'm done. And I have a few things. I mean, people have bought me a lot of Golden Girl shit. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then you're wearing it. And I'm like, oh, I feel like an idiot.
Is it? Because I feel like shirts aren't bad, but now that you're saying that, pants, I don't really have a lot of pants with stuff on it, but I do
Right.
have like graphic tees and stuff.
Shirts I like. I also like shirts of. So my small hobby now is buying shirts from the Jerry Lewis telethons. But they used to have them, so like they're staff shirts. So I just got one from 1988 from like the local Detroit one where someone wore this. It's an old shirt, so like that's part of the appeal.
Where are you
Um,
finding them on eBay and stuff?
yes. And if there was a Golden Girls fucking crew jacket or something, I've bothered Tony Khan multiple times because AEW is on TBS and TNT that we should start getting like HBO show jackets.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, like Larry Sanders show jackets. That's my dream.
You're more into the obscure. You want things that don't feel like they're just easily obtainable.
Right.
You don't find comfort in
No, I
over
don't want to belong.
capitalization.
yes, and also like I realize that because I also have those shirts now, like the Jerry Lewis ones, and I haven't even worn them yet. And then when I wear them, I'm not going to take a fucking picture of them and post them, which is something I used to do. Maybe this is just me getting older and not caring about what people think. But
Yeah.
that it feels like true comfort. Whereas like this is me having this shirt is like me having a cigarette on the balcony. You know, this is for me.
Me and my thoughts, me and my feelings.
Yes.
I like that. It's just I don't want to. It's something about the hat.
Hmm.
It sounded like you hate a hat.
Well, Golden Girls hat, like
Yeah,
it's not going
like
to be a good hat. Like it's not going to be a high quality hat. There's just no fucking way. So you've already not only do you have to like admit your admiration for the show, but you have to love the show so much that you're willing to wear a bad hat. It's like, what are we doing? What is the point of this? Just say
hat
you
or
like the show.
pants.
Um, the pants are fucked up. I hate the pants. The pants are way worse.
Is it the repeated pattern? You know what? Because the pants are always ugly, and it's more of it.
Yes,
It's so
that's I
I don't
think the
like a pattern.
problem. No, because they're not like they just try to print them like shirts, right? Like those dress shirts they have. You at least put a pattern on it. You're like, okay, but then the pants they're not cut right. There's always something in the seam where the design will be split in half and be uneven. And
I
it's like
hate
I don't
that
have
shit.
time for this. This is awful.
You're like, now I'm out here looking tacky
Right?
because
Just
I
to
like
what?
something.
Yes, just to go to fucking Epcot and hope somebody walks by you and goes, "Hey, I like that show too." Nothing's going to be gained from this.
Well, if you made a
So
friend, do you not want
what?
that friend?
What is the friend like? That's my other thing is like, what is going to be gained from talking to someone who likes the Golden Girls that I can't get from just watching it myself? So why do I need to talk to you? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll say like if I'm working on stuff like I worked on a pilot and the guy was an executive producer for Martin Short's daytime talk show and I was like, oh my god, you have to tell me everything. Like that guy possessed knowledge that I would not have access to otherwise. You know, I was friends with Paul Rubens for 16 years. I bothered him about a lot of fucking obscure shit. Um, that I would not have access to otherwise. But just like fan to fan, like fans shouldn't talk to each other. I guess is my fucking point.
It's like you know what I know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That was a hey. Remember that episode? Yeah, that was a good episode. It's really good.
What a hilarious perspective.
Wild.
So, do you have any? But a choke. So, what are you? Now I feel like I shouldn't even ask you because it's like I don't want you to have to reveal your secret
No,
comfort.
it's okay. I'll reveal them. This is, I guess, first of all, so far this has been like my discomfort pop culture. Um, so this is a comfort that's a little, I guess it's a little problematic. But I often leave CNN on in the background because it's a real
White
nice
noise.
thing to. It's white noise. I can pop in and out of it if I'm writing. Like it's something I can completely tune out of. But if I want to take a break and then look at the television, I can get some information. I have I would say surface level interest in politics enough that I can just glance at it and feel like okay, it's not bad. They play these commercials for the Shriners Children's Hospital.
What?
It's like the St. Jude and the Shriners,
Yeah.
and I watch these commercials. They first of all they play them 20 times an hour. So I will see, multiple versions throughout the day. And they would have these kids doing it. And one, they're amputees and they're in a wheelchair and, donate and get a blanket. And they used to have this main kid who was like the host of the commercial. And you could tell why, because Compared to the
What?
other kids, you could see the producers going, "This guy is camera ready."
This is the one that we
Yeah,
want.
he's coherent. He's with it. He's got a twinkle in his eye. He speaks very clearly. This is our main guy. Everyone falls in line behind this guy, and I've been watching these for years now, and he's started to age out,
Ah, I didn't
and
think about that.
he stops being cute, and the voice drops. Puberty happens, and I saw as that was happening, they were bringing this other kid up the ranks, cute other kid with a bow tie, and they're finally like passing the torch now. Where the bow tie kid is now the main kid, and then it's almost like how like Jon Stewart handed over the Daily Show.
And then
Because the
you
first
see it
kid is like, I'm
coming.
still gonna be around though. The big shit, the Christmas shit, you know, I want to be in front because I've put in my work. Um, and it might all dry up after this. So I think about those all the time. And when they come on, I stop what I'm doing and I watch them.
Is
Um,
Bowtie Kid still the new kid now, or is he aging out?
he's just, uh, I'd say, become the main kid. And I'm thinking 3 or 4 years max. Before do they find someone else? I don't know.
Because
So
how
that's,
long have these commercials been going on that you know? Or how long have you been
God,
watching these commercials?
at least 10 years. I feel like it's
Dang.
10 years, but it's probably something gross like 24 years. And I think I'm trying to be kind to myself by just saying, yeah, maybe 10 years. It's been a disgusting amount of time to think about these commercials and bring them up. And they do. The worst part, though, is they always do a Christmas one and they try to sing Christmas songs like I'll Be Home for Christmas and some shit. And some of the kids, they fucking auto tune.
Oh,
Yeah.
they auto tune the
Yes.
children in the
Yeah. Well,
trailer.
yeah, because now you're in a real catch-22 because you want them to sing the song to tug at the heartstrings to get people to feel bad enough to donate money. But if it's a kid who can't fucking sing, it's counterproductive. And that poor producer in the sound booth making that call. I decide which amputee child
That's
needs to
so
be auto-tuned.
sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I wonder
Yeah.
if the kids hear it and they get sad, or maybe
They
they're like, "Oh, I
must.
sound good."
I wonder if they let them see it at all. I would be because
Mm,
anyone you realize, gets in their head about that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter if they're these amputee angel, salt of the earth children. If you see yourself, you're going to hate seeing yourself. You're going to be upset with
yeah,
your performance. You're going to be neurotic like anyone else.
yeah.
And these kids are supposed to, I don't know, they always have a teddy bear. Like that solves anything.
They do always have a teddy bear.
Just get the kid one teddy bear, send him on his way.
Teddy bears do help.
I guess so. I don't know. I desperately want to talk to a producer or director on that. What else? Something else I enjoy a lot, and I think about it, and then I'll go watch the intro, and then some things are a comfort media. They feel better in your mind than they do when you actually watch them. And one of them is Zoobilee Zoo. Are you familiar with Zoobilee Zoo?
Yes, I was just actually because who was the dude that was in it? That's
Ben
like a big
Vereen.
actor. Yes,
Yes.
I just was watching. I don't know why I was looking at Zoobilee Zoo, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Is that fucking Ben Vereen?
Yes.
What are you
Yes.
doing there?" It's so terrifying.
It's
It looks so
terrifying.
terrifying.
So, for people who don't know, Zoobilee Zoo was like a kids show. It was on PBS. It was on. It wasn't even didn't even last that long, but it's always in syndication and shit. And it was hosted by Ben Vereen. And the premise was, it seemed like they were all Broadway actors and singers and dancers. So, like technically speaking, the performances are good. But the premise of the show is it's a city of animals, I guess. And they all have, I guess they once cats got very popular, there was like a discount on that kind of makeup.
It looks so bad.
Yes, it's like a kid's version of cats. So they all have just, they're not animal enough to be animal, and they're not human enough to be human. So it's this bizarre Isle of Dr. Moreau thing.
I thought I was the only one watching Zoobilee Zoo.
No, I will. I mean, it immediately made an impression on me as a child because it's just surreal.
Very
Um,
cute.
and then you go back and you go, and then I'm singing the theme song in my head, and I go, you know what? Let's let's dive into an episode of Zoobilee Zoo, and I can't make it past 5 fucking minutes.
I don't even
Um,
remember how did the theme song go? I don't even remember the theme song.
Zoobilee Zoo, Zoobilee Zoo, magic and wonder are waiting for you. Da, 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 da. And it's just about, they're singing about themselves, the novelty of themselves. And he was Mayor Ben. And I think I also knew he was Ben Vereen, so him being named Ben, I also thought was bizarre as a child. Um, but they were all different animals, and they were all like one of each. It was very
Very.
uncomfortable, but I still enjoyed it. I also enjoyed, um, while we're on the subject of PBS, I really did like Zoom.
I loved Zoom. Did they ever pick your letters? Did you ever write a letter?
No, so I'm, Canadian. So the
Oh.
idea that I would send a letter to Boston, Massachusetts was just
Oh,
beyond
to
my
one through
fucking
four.
imagination. Yes. Um, no, but I always loved like the intro. I mean, I just love the
Come
intro that
on
I
and
did
Zoom,
it.
come on and
Yeah,
Zoom.
but when they would announce themselves,
Mm.
and they would always be, it was a very PBS thing to call the child by his full name. I'm Jonathan. It's like nobody fucking calls you Jonathan. You don't want to be called
They call you
Jonathan.
John.
Yes, please, anything but Jonathan. They take attendance, and I loved it. And then I would, as a kid, I'm like, I don't know what I am, 11 or 12, and I'm like developing crushes.
You had a crush on somebody on Zoom?
Yeah, you're like, you're like well, this is whatever. But when you're like a child, you're like also like a pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a crush pervert though. It's not even about sex, like because you're not even there yet. But you would like, oh, I take her on a date, like just the filthiest 11-year-old watching the intro and go, yeah, I like her.
And it's always that same creepy tone.
Yes,
It's like, yeah, you're just
yeah,
like staring at them because you don't know what to do.
yes, right. And
Yeah.
then you see, then the next segment, they're like, that's right, you fucking make that paper airplane. That's right. You throw it pretty far. That's pretty good. I think she would like me. You know.
So for you three, I'm crying. It's Zoom,
Yeah.
Zoom, and the Shriners commercials that
Right.
go up during season.
Are these too common? Everyone must have picked the Shriners commercial.
I don't even know what are mine. Mine is like Mean Girls. Like I'll just watch Mean Girls. That's
But
my white noise.
let me first of all say the absolute funniest line in that whole movie is, I ought to cancel your dance. I'm not going to do that because we've already paid the DJ.
He's my favorite character.
Yes, because he's so muted. He's such an earnest failure, and I know so many teachers like that when I was in school.
Yeah, I was a teacher like that.
Yeah.
I taught for 1 year.
Oh my
And
god.
I quit during Christmas. And I worked the rest of the year, but they had like a bonus because like it takes a long time to like get a teacher in and certify all that stuff.
Right.
So they're like, hey, if you know you're gonna quit, you get like it wasn't even a crazy bonus. It was like $300, and I sent that letter in immediately, and I was like, you're never fucking seeing me again. I taught 12th grade English.
Oh my god. And how old were you?
I was like 23. That too. I was like 22, 23. And so
That's
yeah, those kids are like
wild.
17, 18. It's funny now because like I have a student, one of my students, he's like a comedian,
Mm,
and we're damn near the same age. So that's
hmm.
what, like, so definitely when those kids graduated, everybody was like, I had a crush on you, I was in love with you, I'm 18 now, and they're still doing it now. I taught 10 years ago, over 10 years ago at this point, and they're still like,
Wow.
hey, we're both in our 30s. What's up with it? Like, get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!
But
But
don't
is
you
that
feel good
is
about yourself at least?
yeah, I'm like, I look great. I'm still
Yeah.
holding up. I'm still holding up. What if you do you feel like you would hit on the Zoom girl if you saw her now? Like, would that be your
Oh my
thing?
God. Yeah, yeah, it would be like, hey, I would have to do it in like a, hey, I really enjoyed the show. Oh, thank you. No, 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 I really
I
liked it.
really liked it.
When you, spoke in your little language, like I felt that. I felt like you were speaking to me.
Ubby Dubby.
Yes,
Did
yes.
you ever learn how to do it?
No, but I want to. So maybe we could get a coffee
Yeah.
and try.
We need
Yes.
to practice that. Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna. It's not on like Duolingo. Y'all got everything else. They
Right.
don't have Ubby Dubby.
But I was also, and I don't know how far your research extends on me, but I was on a kids show.
Oh, you were on the
Like
kids show?
I
I
was,
did not
it
see
was it was on Nickelodeon, it was on YTV in Canada, it was on BBC. I wasn't a kid when it was on. I was like 20, 21 maybe,
it.
and it was called Splat-A-Lot, and it was like Wipeout for kids, and we would be these characters. We would defend the castle and shoot shit at kids and make fun of them.
I did see that show.
All right,
You,
well,
you
there
were
you
on
go.
that show?
Yes, and it's so nuts to hear. And I don't know how old
Oh
the
my
show is.
god,
At
I'm looking
least
at this
15
picture.
years.
This is crazy.
Okay,
I
great.
have to send this to my brother.
It's so fucked when people are like, "Oh, I grew up watching your show," and then you feel like 90 years old.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I was grown.
Thank you. I
I
really do
was
appreciate that.
I just used to watch. I would just watch TV. I've seen like a lot of random Canadian cartoons. Let me think of one. I
Reboot.
just, oh, I loved Reboot.
Hmm.
If the graphics are terrible,
Right.
rewatching it now, but Reboot was a good show. 16 was also
Hmm.
fire.
Yes.
Canadian humor is interesting.
Well, so I think the predominant theory is Canadian humor. They it's a subsidiary of British humor
Okay.
because we've obviously colonized, and we also entertainment wise, like on TV, we would always get the British stuff first. So stuff like
Oh.
Monty Python or whatever, we would just be getting first, and we always had like BBC affiliates and shit. Um, and then I also, so it's part that, and then part a reaction to American stuff. Because in Canada, we would always get shit like 6 months after you.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if something was really, really popular for you, it would be not. We would get it much later, which is
That makes sense.
sad. So there's an earnest delay on stuff we find funny.
That, I see the British influence now that you say that. And I used to watch a lot of British cartoons. I just was if it was a cartoon,
Yeah.
I would watch it. Like, have you ever heard of this cartoon called Bobo Bobs? I think that was like
No.
Swedish or something. That's what I'm saying. I would just go in the video store and be like, oh, a movie, sure, cartoon.
We had a shitload of Pengu.
Oh, I forgot.
I think he
It's
was
so
French
cute.
Canadian, but we had
Yeah.
him like now it's like a meme and people talk about it now. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no, we just used to watch this like as a kid, and it was like it was normal.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Nobody.
outrageous to us at all. We also like. Did you get Art Attack?
What's it? You said
Oh,
Architect?
Art Attack. It
Let me
was a
see.
British guy. He would teach you how to do art.
Oh, that sounds dope.
He was great. He was a wonderful, wonderful guy. Um,
Let me see. He looks so happy.
he was incredibly happy. He was very sweet. Very sweet fella.
Let me add that. I'm
Um,
adding stuff to my list, by the way. I'm like, stuff to watch.
so now, a question about Mean Girls: do you stop at the movie?
Yes. So like I don't.
Right.
So I have a Mean Girls tattoo. The limit does not exist and stuff. But yeah,
Hmm.
I didn't like Mean Girls 2. I mean, I knew I wasn't. Whenever the original cast isn't part of it at all, it's a new writer. I'm like, this is not going
Right.
to be great. I don't, and I love musicals. For the most part, I don't love a musical based off a movie.
Sure.
The only one I did like, I will say, is I liked Shrek the musical, and I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but it was so, I guess, camp. We'll
Right.
call it camp.
But
It
but
was
I
so
I also feel like
funny looking.
Shrek is halfway there anyway.
Yeah,
Right. We have
Mean Girls is like,
enough songs. And then the only ones I can say that about that are musicals I enjoyed based off movies are perhaps Sunset Boulevard, um, technically Little Shop of Horrors,
yeah,
but it's such a revamped version than the original movie, which is not the black and white horror movie, which is not very good. Um, and that's it.
yeah. Like I don't like the Heather's one.
Right.
Uh, it's a couple other ones. Yeah, I'm out of it after that. I'm out of it after that. I refuse to watch the new one. I don't like I don't like remakes of stuff that was originally made when I was younger. Like let's go a
Yes.
generation or two before. So like you said, Little
Because it
Shop of
makes you
Horrors.
feel old.
Well, because it's like I think I'm just comparing it too much, and the feel old. It's like, dang, this wasn't even. But
Right.
now they're doing it, not even spacing it. Like me and my daughter just saw How to Train Your Dragon.
Mm.
It's like that's like less than 10 years old, I think,
Yes.
or maybe it's 15. But it's not that old for y'all to need to bring it back. I will say, surprisingly, it was very good. I was shocked because I hate live action.
Hmm.
I am that person, but I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. But yeah, I don't. It's because I don't know. I just feel like it's never gonna be as good. I'm always
Right.
gonna compare it to the other one. It's also just like the feeling you get. So yeah, I was like, I'm not watching that new Mean Girls, and it might be good, but I'm good. I'm
But
okay
how
on
good can
that.
it be? Isn't there like a ceiling on these things? Like
Yeah.
the only good sequels ever were like Godfather 2 and Ace
Mhm.
Ventura When Nature Calls. That was it. Nothing else. And that's only because they had no idea they were making a kids movie when they made the first one. Right? Do you remember how like sexual the first one
That
was?
I was just watching randomly Ace Ventura clips, and I was like, I was not supposed to be
Yeah.
watching. This was crazy.
Really
That was a
not
lot.
understood what they just did not they knew something was there,
They
you know?
wasn't sure. I used to argue that Shrek 2 was better than the first Shrek, but
Mm,
now as a full adult, I'm like, nah, Shrek's better. The jokes are better. Shrek
yeah.
2 is still great, but you could tell Shrek 1, like, they didn't know what it was gonna be, so they just were like, fuck it, we're gonna make this movie. And then Shrek 2, Shrek was so popular, it's like, okay, we have to kind of lean more into certain jokes or certain stuff that they
The
didn't have to do in the first one.
yes. I also feel like when you have an awareness of what's good, you sort of lose the magic of it. And I feel like I don't know, when you do stand up, I mean, do you work out stuff? Do you go up there with nothing a lot of times?
Um, Yeah. I'm so
Yeah.
like I'll usually write stuff, but I'm very stream of consciousness with my stand up,
Yeah.
and I think it's part for that reason. I never want to feel like I'm doing this joke because I know y'all think this is funny.
Yeah.
I like to kind of let's figure out if it's funny together. Even with my content, and I feel like this has been to my detriment
Yes.
sometimes. Like as we're talking, I'm like, oh, we're very similar. Like once I feel like it's starting to get too formulaic because of,
Hmm.
like you said, like I know this is good, I know this works, so I'm gonna do this because it works. Then I'll just stop making that content and I'll go back to making something else. Because then
Right.
I feel like you're losing the art of it.
Yes. Unfortunately, we are making content that's pushed by an algorithm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and we have to at least bend to it somewhat, which is just awful. It makes
Yeah.
me not, whatever. We could all do a better job of that, but fucking yes. But I feel the same way. It's just like I would rather discover the new thing instead of doing what
Yeah.
I know works because I also feel like the magic is gone in it.
Yeah, now it's not now for me, yeah, it's not fun anymore. I don't like it anymore, and it's the same with my jokes. Like I know some people that'll tell the joke and they will 10 years later you see them and they're doing the exact same 1 hour. Even when I like started, they were like, "Hey, you do your 5 minute set and you build on that set, and once you have your hour, you work that hour and you keep working that hour and you tell that joke and then you make sure that joke works everywhere and you keep telling it and then you have your set and that's how you get booked." And I'm
Right.
like, well, that shit's boring. It's like
Yes.
I don't even feel like I'll even be going through some of my old jokes and I'm like I don't feel the same way I felt 5 years ago, even last year.
Yeah.
And it's like I get that I know that these jokes work, but that shit's boring. What if that same person's coming to see me 10 years later? That would suck to me. I'm seeing you 10 years later. And it's like you're still telling the same ass joke. Nothing else has
Yes.
happened.
Yes. I also feel like that only certain jokes can avoid that. There are certain
Yeah.
things that I mean, because of what I do, there's a lot of my stuff that's like dissecting wrestling, which is not personally connected to me, where it's like, it doesn't matter how old I am. You know what I mean? Or what I did
Yeah.
this week. I, as the person, am totally removed from it. And there are certain bits where I go, oh, I could probably always do this. Which is nice to know you have a bit that works, but
Yeah.
I also don't want to like hang my hat on it.
Yeah. Or make it
Because
your thing.
no, right. Once people get known as, we've been alive long enough, you and I, to see many careers gain steam, peak, and then totally fucking bottom out.
Yeah.
And there gets to a certain point when people get too popular. Luckily, neither of us will ever reach that level
Yep.
um, where they just seem to totally lose touch with reality or what their appeal was, and they feel like they're like scrambling.
Yeah. I
And
am.
go ahead.
Me and my friend just had this conversation about influencers,
Yeah,
and that's been so crazy to see. Like people we personally know that like popped, and they popped because they liked applesauce, and then they just started making nothing but applesauce videos. They're getting all these applesauce brands, and now 2-3 years in, what are you doing? And
right.
then you just slowly start seeing the numbers dwindling. Then you just start seeing them do this crazy shit to try to stay relevant. And it's
Hmm.
like it's so sad because just go do something else. Like
Right.
you can still make content. Why won't you eat a banana? And so it's just like just do something else. but they don't because, like you said, we're all pretty much like slaves to the algorithm. So
Yeah.
these people are scared to go for you're making 100, getting 100,000 views to go to make 500 views.
Yeah.
It's like I
Yes.
don't give a fuck. I failed enough. I've been the weirdo outsider, so I'm like, I don't care about not getting certain amount of views or feeling popular.
Right.
I just want to be able to continue to work and do this. So
Back
that's what it
to
is.
my problem with novelty pop culture printed pants. I find though that if enough people like something, it almost by definition can't be that good.
Yeah, it cannot appeal to everybody.
Yeah, I can't think of the last thing that everyone loved that I thought was good. I'm also obsessed with, and I've been obsessed with him for like back in the E-bombs world days. So
E-bombs world.
this has been a while. Um,
Dang.
um,
We're old.
there was a kid called Lights Camera Jackson, and he was a kid movie reviewer, and he would do the local news wherever he's from, and then sometimes they would have him on the Today Show, and his reviews are hilarious because he's, I don't know, 11, and he would hate movies like Inception, but something like How to Train Your Dragon was like Citizen Kane to him. So it was so fucking funny. And now, but he was also, those kids who are like little adults. Like they're really well spoken. And he was like, he had like a nerd dad quality, but as a boy. But now he's got to be in his 20s at least, if not his 30s. And I
Yeah,
still
he's
follow him.
26.
And he's still called Lights Camera Jackson, but half of your appeal is gone.
Yeah.
You're not a child anymore, so you have to really fucking knuckle down and start cranking out hard ass movie reviews. Like you have to gear shift.
Yeah.
And I'm just fascinated by it.
It's so interesting. Yeah, he only has 1,000 followers, and that's
Yeah,
also why that shit don't be mattering. Like,
right.
because it's like you have fans. It's people. If just make the content, just make the shit that you like. That's so interesting.
Yes.
I'm gonna go look at Lights Camp because he looks familiar. Because I used to be on E-Bombs World like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I just used to all the weird memes and all
Yes.
the gifts and stuff like that. Like I used to love. What was that other one? It was like E-Bombs World.
There was
College
a
Humor was kind of there, but it wasn't
yes.
like
There
that
was
yet.
another one that I think was a little fringe, and I'm nervous to say it. Um, it was called steakandcheese.com.
Steak and cheese. I
Yeah.
remember the I had cheeseburgers one, but what was steak and cheese?
It was just like a list of like, it was almost like a message board of like titles of fucked up shit. And it was like crocodile eats man's arm. And you click on it and it's just a picture. It's like a real life, like there was a snuff quality to it and it would be a crocodile that was like, they sliced him open and he had like a guy's arm inside him. Stuff like that. You never quite knew what you were going to get. Um, and it was fascinating. But I would go, this is back when everyone had like one family computer,
Yep.
So you would have to gather around. I would go to my friend's house. We had family friends. We would go there on Christmas Eve always. And the children would gather around the computer when the adults were discussing, I don't fucking know. And we would go on steakandcheese.com. And we would also go on Christian Mingle and JewishQualitySingles.com. And we would just fucking. Do you remember when? And I'm so upset that I lost this. When I was a kid, any adult's name was hilarious to me.
Like just their full
Their
name.
full fucking name, and it's like, that's you? That's your fucking name?
That's your name. I
I
used to
would just.
go through the church directory, me and my brother. And we would just
Yes.
read people's full name and just be cracking and just like roasting them and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because it
So,
is funny.
uh, um, I went to Catholic school, like a Roman Catholic, Italian, whatever. But my father went to the Salvation Army for some reason. And so there was a point in time where I was double fisting the churches, and no wonder I think everything is fake, and I have no earnestness because I'm going to two churches at the same time. Someone is wrong here, at least one person. Like no fucking wonder. But he had this little church directory thing, and it had in the back everyone's. It was like a little yearbook. They had their
Yep.
their name, and they had and I can tell you names: Catherine Honeychurch, Will Gooby, and I would be dying. I'd be banging on the desk with laughter that this is this fucking person. It's
It's like that's how you've lived your whole life like that. Like that
right,
was your name.
right,
We had a counselor. I don't. Butts was the funniest.
sure,
Anybody last name Butts was so funny, but she was a nurse. And so kids used to just go in there and be like, "Oh, my butt's hurt." I don't know why that just used to crack me the
of
fuck up.
course,
I was just like, the
yeah.
boldness of this. I fucking goobery.
I used to. I was a sick child. I used to prank call my friends' parents.
I did too. I did too. What
Yeah.
was it? Star 67 when it would like block it.
Yes, 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 yes. So, but I would also know because I would hang out with my friends. I would know which ones didn't have caller ID, so you didn't have to even fucking worry about it. And I called. So my friend came over, and We called his mom, and I was really good at disguising my voice. And there was a new girl in school, and I pretended to be that girl's father and said, your son made fun of my daughter.
Oh,
And I got her on the phone for maybe 5, 10 minutes. He was saying all these mean things and he was bullying my daughter. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was so impressed with such a good job and she, fell for it. And then I was like, hey, just kidding. It's RJ. And she lost her mind on me. And then called my dad and yelled at my dad, which was great.
Oh dang! What'd your
Yeah.
dad say?
It's like, what do you want? Like, it's also like you fell for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you? It's too late now.
Right. I mean,
What are
she
we
was
supposed to do about
embarrassed.
it?
Like, you're supposed to just laugh it off. Gee. But I always admire my childhood self now to say that was a real layered prank, right? We could have just called her
Solid
up and
joke.
yelled. You're right, solid joke. Yes, it was a believable premise, and that's what helped. And that's certainly something I miss
You,
because I loved making prank phone calls and I loved listen. Now you can't play the jerky boys for someone because there's no relevance to it.
yeah,
They'd be like,
it
"Why?
doesn't.
Why would these people stay on the phone? Who makes a phone call anymore?"
Yeah, even I was showing my daughter Home Alone,
Yes,
and she was like, why didn't he just call them? And
right.
it's like, well, like now I'm having to explain. Well, before cell phones,
Yes,
nobody had. There was no way to communicate. Like once you were out of the house, you were out. Nobody could talk to you until you got to another location.
right. And I
There
think
was no
I think that's
travel
what we should
communication.
do is remake movies, and the only change is they have cell phones now.
A lot of movies will be so quick.
Yeah, it's like an 8 minute. They're wrapped up quite quickly.
It's like, hey, you left me. Okay, we're turning around. We're
It's
probably gonna miss the
so
flight.
funny how many premises are based around not having a cell phone or having to wait at a payphone, and like that was a huge struggle for most of America for, I would say, 50, 60 years.
Yeah, because even like Gremlins or something, it's like, oh, what were the rules? What weren't we supposed to do? Now we can just look it up.
Right.
Let's
Exactly.
just Google it.
A whole movie would be just solved. It would be so much better. So, what is your shit? Mean Girls?
Oh, I forgot. So Mean Girls, House Moving Castle, is definitely like one of the ones I could just put it on. Like I've watched it just on a loop, and I would say one of my last was I have so many, but Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's like one I used to watch that movie so much that now I could just like play it. It's so funny. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's also one of those movies that like a lot of people don't know about or watch.
Yeah.
So it
I
feels
mean,
like it's my movie.
it's one of Mel Brooks's worst movies,
It's,
right? It's up there. I
it's
mean,
so
it's right
stupid.
next to fucking Dracula Dead and Loving It, which I also really like in the same way, and I love everyone in it. It's weird that Amy Yasbeck is in both movies.
Oh, she.
I find that very strange. Um, I also think it's nuts to see Dave Chappelle in the movie.
A young Dave Chappelle pre
Yeah.
veneers, I always crack up.
I think part of the problem was Carrie Elwes is fresh off The Princess Bride, and this is too similar a genre.
And if that was, and The Princess Bride is another one of my comfort movies. So I'm just like, oh, it's the same movie, but
Right.
goofy stuff is not happening.
I think, to be fair, I think we can take out all the shit of fucking Peter Falk having to read to fucking Fred Savage. I think we can
I
lose it and still
I
be
I
okay.
skip I skip those parts. So like I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
okay. We really don't need this
Yes.
plot device.
They think they're being so clever by like not paying stuff off, and then what happened next? I was like, oh fuck you! Like, just it was awful, really, really awful. I think part of the appeal of Robin Hood Men in Tights is also that Richard Lewis is in it, and he's not a very good actor ever, and he's not done that many movies. It was like this and fucking Wagons East. Tracy Ullman's in it,
Oh.
another real '90s. The ratio to how many times I heard Tracy Ullman is funny to how many times I actually found her funny. You know those people? They were like, I've been told she was good. Is she good? I don't know, but I heard it.
What else was she in? She was in
She had all
because she's
those
the
TV
reason
shows.
for The
She had like
Simpsons.
all these TV shows of like her characters, her wacky characters.
Hmm.
And she would just always do like a New York Jewish agent lady. And that was supposed to be was just brilliant character work. I never
Yeah, I've never seen. Did she do stand up? Because I've heard, now that you're saying, that, I'm like, I've heard her name for years. I know she did this part of for The Simpsons, right? Or like it was based off her characters or
so
something,
she had a sketch
right?
show and then The Simpsons was like a short on the show.
Mm, okay.
She had nothing to do with them.
Oh,
The same way like the Muppets were on SNL, but SNL had nothing to
oh,
really do
so
with
you
them.
did write this.
Right.
I'm gonna watch some Tracy Ullman comedy because I've never.
She's one of
Yeah.
yeah, where you're like, I've been told won a lot of awards, and then it was like, but I can't think of one thing where I'm like, oh, that's great. She just did sketches,
Mm.
but I don't know. It was not really happening. Also in that movie, by the
I'm not
way,
vibing with it.
who's also in Spaceballs is Dick Van Patten,
Mm.
who
Dang, I need to.
plays yeah, Vespa, the Princess Vespa's father in
Yeah.
Spaceballs. Um, there's something
Aren't they
about
doing
that movie I
something with
didn't.
Spaceballs? No,
Sorry,
sorry.
go
My
ahead.
bad. Aren't they doing something with Spaceballs
They
coming up
are
or something?
yes. So Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement for his first movie in 30 years.
Which is so sad why he with his wife and stuff. And I used to
Yeah,
love Rick. I had a crush on Rick Moranis.
sure. Oh my God, yes. Especially a real young one. He
Hmm.
is very good. Even in My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin, he's a good actor.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I love
But
it.
I'm also happy, like, as sad as it is, obviously, why he stopped. It was pretty cool to go, I think I'm done. We're
I've
good.
done enough.
And it's so nice to not have to suffer through the later stage comedic actor dramedy
Uh,
phase.
yeah.
Holy shit.
You just get to leave on top and still funny.
Yes. To not have to suffer through even, I'll say, I'm sure it's good, but like Better Call Saul and shit. It's just like exhausting. And like anything that like Zach Galifianakis does now, just we should just tell the jokes. They think like, oh, if it's someone really funny and we just take away the jokes, everyone will think they're poignant. You know?
Whose fault do you think that is? If you, do you think it's
Um, oh my
Robin
God.
Williams?
Robin no. So this is the opposite is true with Robin Williams is that every every fucking movie he's in, he's also the funniest person in the world. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He also has these incredible one-liners no one laughs at, and they play it off as just normal. But it's always the funniest thing you've ever heard. And then there's always the classic. Every movie, the writer's like, we have to figure out a scene for Robin to get his 5 fast, funny voices in.
Did you see that episode of him in Law and Order?
No,
It was not. It's not a funny episode,
right?
but me and my brother used to cry. We would just be like, "Hey, let me know when that episode's on. It's so funny." He pretty much plays. He's the villain in the episode,
Yeah,
and he's like calling different places to get people to do stuff.
of course.
And I forgot why. I don't even remember the whole premise, but he's doing all these different voices, and it's like he's making people do crimes. Like he had the owner of like a fast food make his like underage employee strip down to her underwear saying she was stealing and like kidnap her in the back. But Robin Williams is just like calling all these places, doing these funny voices.
That's insane.
Like, and not to spoil it, but it's been out for some years. Do you care if I spoil it?
It's please.
He gets away at the end, so they're chasing him. So Stabler and Benson are chasing him, and they like he's handcuffed. I don't even remember how he got out of the cop car. Gets off the cop car, they start chasing him, and he like jumps into a river, and he's handcuffed. And they
Oh my
don't, and that's just
God!
how the episode ends.
Wow.
So we don't know if he got away.
Because they
But the whole
thought, this is a character that can come back.
yeah, but then they never brought him back. But the whole thing was he was against people like being sheep and like just doing whatever authority says. Please,
Right.
if you get a chance, watch the episode. It's so good.
That's great.
And
I need
and
to
you're
watch it
right.
now. Yes.
Even though it was not funny, I was cracking up
Right.
the whole time.
He was good in the birdcage, but he was also
Oh,
funny in it. He was
I love
serious
the
but funny,
Birdcage.
and then he was good in 1 Hour Photo too.
Yeah, which also is not a comedy. But yeah.
No, but also I found it hilarious.
That's why I'm like, it's not so fun. It's the faces. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but it was he was very aware of like, hey, I'm being serious now. I want everyone to know I'm being really serious this time, which
So
is just a
who
funny thing to even do in the first place.
do you think it's Adam Sandler's fault? I mean, Punch Drunk
Yes, this
Love.
fucking Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems. The amount of times I have to hear about this, and what he's just a fucking slob mumbling through a movie. Oh, that's acting. Oh my god, it was fucking
I haven't seen Uncut Gems, but I did see Punch Drunk Love.
yes,
Have you seen? You saw it? It's so
yes,
interesting. It's he, he's just a slob.
yeah. And like I don't know, like
Oh
it's
my
fine,
god.
but like to like attribute some sort of poignancy to that is so fucking ridiculous. It's like I know who you are. You can't do this to me. I will say the one comedian I'm upset that we didn't get that out of is Jim Varney.
Oh, I used to love some Ernest.
Yeah.
So you would want to see him in some more serious
Well,
roles.
first of all, he was a real actor of serious, did Shakespeare, all before Ernest, which he ended up doing on commercials to make some money, and then it got very popular. And he was also so fucking sexy.
Oh,
Go,
I'm looking at old pictures. I'm like, wait a minute, you're on
yes,
to something. Old
yes.
young Jim Varney kind of fine.
Oh my god, looks incredible. And like some hot Southern detective movie where everyone's just kind of sweating the whole time.
Yo, why is he fine?
Right.
We were lied to.
Yes. Yes. And like that's tremendous. If anyone should go back instead of fucking Uncut Gems. You should be like, look at how ugly Jim Varney made himself for you. Look at how many shit movies this talented man made because you liked them.
Aw,
You know?
that'd be fun. I'll be saving this picture.
Good for you.
I feel like I've learned so much today.
Good. Good. I'm happy.
I know I wasn't the only pervert watching Zoom. Jim Varney was fine.
Right.
I'm
See?
not the I'm not the only one that doesn't like ugly pants, you know?
I'm happy. I feel like we broke some ground here.
We definitely did. We're gonna have to run this back. This was hilarious. I think I asked 4 of the questions I had on. 2 of the questions I
What were
had
the
on
rest?
here.
Do a speed round. Do the rest. Knock them out.
Uh they're too long.
I'll answer quickly.
Pop culture moment that shaped your personality.
Oh, there's an episode of the Lawrence Welk Show where the guy chokes while introducing the next act, and they're also singing "One Toke Over the Line," and they don't realize it's about weed. That's the best.
I don't even want to ask no more. What happened?
So
He choked?
he chokes. He's trying. I can send you the link. Do you want to watch it right now? I'll find it.
I absolutely
Okay.
want to watch
Okay.
it
I'll
right now.
find it right now.
So he choked
He
introducing
just
the
he.
next.
I don't know if he got something caught in his throat. Here we go.
Oh
Here we go.
god.
Okay, hold on. Can I put it in the? Oh, here we. Is there a thing
Well,
to put in the?
I
I
don't
mean,
think
I'm
it's
emailing it to you right now.
okay. I want to watch that. The rest are just a lot of random questions, but This was hilarious. Hey, we didn't even talk about wrestling or anything.
No.
That could be a whole separate episode.
Yes, we can say it. Please watch this immediately. Just watch this. You need to watch it
I'm
right
like,
now.
I'm about to. I'm clicking it now. That's so funny. Hold on. It just popped up. So could you set it up?
The accordionist Myron Florin is trying to introduce the next musical number, and his voice just gives out. He gets a little phlegm caught in his throat, and he.
And so why did that hit so hard for you?
It's just unexpected, and to go from that struggling, the fact that you couldn't just do another take is hilarious. And then also to immediately cut to one toe over the line without a shred of irony. They think it's about Jesus. It's a perfect 1-2 combination.
He's just like,
No.
he grabs his neck and everything.
Yeah. It's so small. It's not a big deal. That's what I love about it. Is I feel like because I'm so neurotic and I hate every little fucking thing I do. So I think to catch it in this guy who must be dead for at least 40, 50 years now, to know that he did all this great work in his whole life and this person sitting laughing at him choking for half a second, I think relieves my neurosis.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a moment. Do I have a moment that I feel like shaped me as a person? It's not really. All my stuff is like cartoons. Like I saw a cartoon and I was like, I like that person's personality. I feel like we would get along.
Yeah.
Like I would just watch shows and it would always be like the weirdo character. Like the character that everybody's like making fun of or like the kind of running gag character. I'm like, what's their story?
Right.
Well, I'm trying to think of a show. Like even like Arthur. Like I like the episodes where they would like show Brain's house.
Right.
Like yeah, like show us what they got going on. Like Arthur's cool, but like Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold. Like that's one of my favorite episodes. Were you in a Hey Arnold?
Yes, I loved Hey. What was it? Was Gino Spumoni?
When he acted like he was dead.
Yes.
That was one. Broken in little pieces. I love the music. I love in-show music too.
Yes, I will
like
say
the songs that they sing. That's dope.
Doug had some very good songs.
The Beats.
Yeah.
That was my shit. Do you remember that episode? And then I'm gonna wrap us up soon, but it's just so funny. I don't know why that throat clearing thing just has now sent me on a tangent. But
Now, by the way,
so
I want to bring this to you because I think this is even better. Have you ever seen So when I was a kid, my mother always told me, I think she was watching the Grammys or something, and Lou Rawls, you know Lou Rawls?
Yeah. Sea tree. Yeah.
No. It's Louis Armstrong.
Oh my God! Yeah, Lou Rawls was.
Lou Rawls is like, you'll never find.
Yeah. It wasn't as raspy.
Yes. So he did the Grammys and he sang that song and he had a coughing fit. And my mom never forgot it. She told me about it like it was a Bigfoot, you know. And I always tried to find it and I couldn't find it. I even went to the TV museum and I could not find it. I guess they, felt bad about it and they make sure nobody saw it again. And then finally, a couple years ago, somebody put it online, and it's also beautiful.
Yeah, I just saw it 7 years ago.
Yeah.
From 1977. I do like watching live TV weird moments. I was watching the one with, I think it was Yoko Ono and Chuck Berry.
Yes.
His face.
Yeah.
The Carl Lewis singing the national anthem.
Yes.
Patti LaBelle not knowing the lyrics to the Christmas song.
Yes. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see how these great people can also be bad at things.
It does make you feel better.
So much better.
So, hey, everybody listening out there, everybody sucks, even the great people. So you're fine. I feel like that's a poignant...
Right. Yeah. That was the lesson we arrived at today. Yeah. Good way to wrap it all up. This feels justified.
and don't wear commercialized pants
Right.
from a show you like.
Don't
Shirts are
celebrate
fine.
anything, I think, is the takeaway.
Just like it.
Yeah.
It's okay to just like. That is a good lesson. It's okay to just like it. As somebody that goes to all of these cons and stuff, sometimes it does feel overwhelming, and then people try to make you feel like you're not as big as a fan if you don't own all these toys and all this bullshit. It's cool if you want it, but you don't have to. You can just like it.
You can just like things. Yeah. We don't have to get crazy about it.
You don't have to get crazy at all. So thank you so much, RJ. This was fucking hilarious.
Oh.
Y'all, I will have those links to all of that stuff that we said. The Patti LaBelle, all of it will be in the comments. Not the comments, the description.
Thank you.
Tell the people where they can find you if you have stuff coming up, what they need to look out for.
I have nothing coming up. Hey W is every Sunday at the crack of dawn on AEW's YouTube page. Otherwise, Google me and a bunch of stuff will come up. And go on your own fact-finding mission.
Don't you have some social media?
I do, but they can find it. They're not sitting. They're not sitting by the computer with a pen. I think.
What if they were? What if somebody's like, man, I really gotta follow this guy?
Fuck. Yes, and they didn't download the episode and they've missed it. They're not going to go back and play it.
I'll have the links to all of.
Thank you. I know it's very hard for people to look me up and find my Instagram. Thank you for providing it for them in the comments.
I'm cracking up. Make sure y'all subscribe, follow us, and make sure to check out AEW on the AEW YouTube channel. And as always, stay nostalgic, stay weird, and do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Have a great day. Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow me on social media at Roxy Hayes, ROXXYHAZE. And if you'd like to support the show and get access to exclusive content, visit my Patreon at patreon.com/RoxyHayes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. See you next time, and stay curious.